Oh, I need this little rolling pin out of there.
Hello, world.
Hello, YouTube and Facebook. How are you?
Welcome to our humble abode. That was unexpected.
We are living on a dime to grow rich, because living on a dime doesn't mean you wallow in your poverty. It means you save money now so you can live better later.
Yep.
Which is what we're doing. We are completely 100% debt-free.
Yes.
Using all the tips and tricks in our Dining on a Dime cookbook. I kept my grocery bill down $350 to $450 a month for up to 7 people at one time, depending on what kids we had at home and didn't have at home. Our kids are starting to trickle out now.
Fly the coop.
We got, 2 out, 1 ready to go, 1 in another couple of years, one in a year and a month to go.
That's pretty early, Mom. And he's totally
not
ignoring
listening.
you.
All right, my Dining on a Dime cookbook. Today we are making right here.
Oh boy, what? Sorry, I was...
You'll have to ask somebody to tell you what Mom said in the comments. Page 273 in the 20th anniversary edition, right here. Navajo tacos.
Yum.
Navajo fry bread, whatever you want to call it. We had an Indian center in Wichita where I grew up, and they made these every Tuesday or something like that. And they were so delicious, and when I found out that it was something you could make at home and it wasn't just a specialty thing, I was like, ooh. So I made it and I put it in our Dining on a Dime cookbook. 25% off right now, guys. livingonadime.com. Also, my apron. Get it together, people. If you need your family to get it together, tell them Tara said get it together. Okay, now, I normally don't put on gloves for cooking, but I just put on my nails. And I don't want to have to dig dough out of my freshly put on nails. So, that's what I'm doing. Okay.
Or dig your nails out of the dough.
Yes. So what you want to do is you want to start heating your oil for your tacos, shells, fry bread, for your fry bread. This fry bread recipe is really easy. It's only got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ingredients if you don't count the salt and water, which I don't count usually because everybody's got salt and water. So anyway, okay, so start heating your oil, in a pan. I'm using a smaller pan this time, so I'll probably get 8 fry breads out of this batch instead of the normal 6 bigger ones. Okay, so I've got my flour in here. Then I'm going to put in my baking powder. Now this recipe is at livingonadime.com. You can get it in the description below. Mike will also put the link. Also in our Dining on a Dime cookbook, if you run out of baking powder, we have the recipe for cream of tartar, and baking soda makes baking powder. If you run out, that's what you need. Okay. So then, getting everything in here. Now, whenever you're cooking, you always want to,
Pass it on to your trusty assistant, who has a blade.
Thank you. You always want to mix your dry ingredients first, just to make sure they're all incorporated and like you don't get a big blop, thank you, of baking powder in one section, okay? All right, so I'm adding my, oh shoot.
It has begun.
Hasn't even been 10 minutes.
How much did you put in there?
I did not mean to do that. Okay, so when you screw up the recipe.
Just make a double batch.
All right, so I was supposed to only put a half a cup of milk and I just put a full cup. That's not going to really mess up the recipe. So instead of putting 1 cup of water, I am going to put in
It's not touching anything.
a half a cup of water. Okay, there we go. So that's okay. We're adapting and overcoming. The story of my life. Let me make sure. Now, okay, my oil is getting pretty significantly hot there. All right, now you want to mix your dough just like so. Now guys, really be super careful with boiling oil. You do not want your pan holding off. This is like absolutely driving me bonkers because you never ever want your pan handle going off. But because I have nowhere else to put it, I have to do that. But when you're cooking, make sure your pan is turned inward towards the stove, away. Don't have it hanging off the stove, especially if you have kids, so you don't accidentally go down and flip boiling hot oil everywhere. Okay, so then you're going to take and knead it several times. Kneading is just lifting your dough up, turning it and pushing down. Lifting, turn, push down. Lifting, turn, push down. Just like so. That's all you do. Lift and turn down. It is not difficult at all. Super, super easy. Okay, there. Now, we've got, you don't want it real sticky. See how it's not really, well, it's sticking here, but see how it's not sticky on my fingertips where I'm kneading the majority of it? Okay, so see how it's not really sticking. Okay, so that's great. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna attempt to not splat boiling oil all over me. Okay.
Did you put salt in there?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
One of our loyal viewers mentioned that she didn't see you put salt in it.
Well, whoever that was, thank you. Let's just adapt and overcome some more. As if you couldn't tell, I'm not feeling my spippiest today. Sorry, guys. As a matter of fact, I was just telling Mike a half an hour ago, I'm not sure I can do the show. All right, so we're just gonna need the salt in there because I forgot it. Okay.
Thank you, Selena.
And actually, guys, if you do that, don't panic. You can just sprinkle a little salt on top and it usually tastes just fine. Okay, so now I am dividing these into smaller tacos because my pan is smaller. I was doing a smaller pan just because I knew I wouldn't have very much space. Normally I do about 6 dough balls, but because I don't have space. Okay, so you want about a 5 or so inch circle, about like that, and then you want to just jab a hole right in the middle. Now, I don't know why this works, but, well, you don't want one quite that big, but it releases the steam. As far as I know, it releases the steam from underneath, so you don't get a big oily air bubble under there, and it'll pop and blow oil on you, which is not good. So this helps release that, and it usually fills right in and you don't have a problem. Okay, so now my oil is pretty warm. I don't really want it this warm. You want about 375 degrees, and it's 400.
How do you measure that if you don't have it there?
How do you measure that if you don't have it? Well, what you can do to see how hot your oil is, take a tiny piece of dough, like so, and drop it in there. See how fast that is boiling?
Can't really.
Can they see how fast that's boiling?
Not really.
When it is boiling really fast, that's too hot, okay? And you need to let it cool down for just a bit. But just that little tiny bit is enough to go ahead and get the oil cooled to a point. We just cooled it down 10 degrees right there with just this little tiny bit of dough. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our dough and We're gonna boil it, not boil it, fry it. Good grief. I'm sorry, guys.
You should come a little further away from the pan.
Okay, got my little bowl there. Well, that one's fried. Okay, so now I'm going to turn my heat back on because I turned it off because it was getting too hot. This is my favorite kitchen tool now, these digital thermometers. Oh my goodness, I use it to make bread to make sure that my yeast water is right. Even though I've been making bread for 30 years and I know the temperature, I just like it as a security type thing to know that I can do that. Okay, now you don't have to have a big fancy one like this. One of my viewers sent me this. Thank you so much. But put a silicone non-stick thing underneath your cutting boards and then they won't slide all over. Okay.
Why did you poke the hole in the center?
Well, it helps the steam come up from the oil there so that you don't get a big bubble underneath and then you really have issues. Okay, there. Now, probably need to roll these just a bit thinner. Now, the boys love to eat these with cinnamon sugar and honey. You can use any topping, oops, I forgot my beans. Any topping that you want. Now, today what I'm doing, because meat is this is 2020, right after the pandemic, if you're watching this later. And meat is kind of at a shortage right now. I have a roast in the oven, and what I'm going to do is, the ones who don't like beans, I won't make them eat the beans, but the ones who like beans, I'm going to add some beans to the roast, and then that'll stretch our meat a little bit more. Oops, I should have floured that. And then that will help stretch our meat. Okay? All right. Now, well, that one I really did a number on, didn't I? Good grief. Okay, let me just check my temperature. Yep, now it got too cool. All right, that's fine. We can wait for it to heat back up again. That is no problem.
So I don't know if you know, but this was asking, can you make this bread with some pumpkin in it, like sopapillas?
I didn't know you could make sopapillas with pumpkin. That would be different. I have no idea.
Well, I wonder if that's like as a flavor or as a
I don't know.
Like you use pumpkin for other things.
I have no idea on that one. That's a new one on me. I've never heard that before. I mean, it'd be worth a try. You've got what? 25, 50 cents worth of ingredients. It's worth it to try, I guess. Okay, so then you're going to take a plate with a paper towel, and that one I should have done thinner. That's a little too thick. We'll make that a honey one. But then you're going to just let the paper towel absorb the extra oil from the fry bread. Now, let me cook this one up and I'll show you how we're going to do this, all right? Let me put up my, yeah, you can.
And I'm resharing the recipe again, but if you haven't seen it in the comments, it's also in the description and in the Dining on Dime cookbook if you have that.
Okay, so here's my roast that I put in, because hamburger's crazy expensive right now, or so they say. I honestly haven't verified that. Actually, we should talk about soaring grocery prices today. Oh dear, that could be a soapbox and a half. Okay,
Are you
so
sure you're up to it?
no, I'm not sure I'm up to it. Okay, so this is my roast, and you can see how lusciously tender that is. This, if you can't pull your meat away and shred it with a fork, you have not cooked it right. I'm sorry, but if you have to use a knife to cut your fork, you're not cooking it right. Our roast recipe in Dining on a Dime and at livingonadime.com is absolutely the perfect roast recipe. I mean, I'm sorry, you will not get a better roast recipe anywhere. Not even Martha Stewart can beat this one, and I know because I tested her recipe.
The mushroom copied it.
Get the fat off. Put that over to the side there. All right.
Yeah,
So
just pull it
what
out.
I do is I pull it apart when I go to serve it, and I let it sit in the juices for just a minute and really get super duper moist. Okay. Now for this recipe, you probably don't want to because you don't want your taco to get really, you know, soggy. But that's how I do it when I normally, okay, serve it. Okay, so now, yes, my love.
Oh, Beth said, I haven't had roast in forever. Well, today is a good day.
Yes. Well, today's the hottest day we've had so far this year, and so I probably shouldn't have done the roast today. I wasn't thinking. It was 86 supposedly today, on this before Memorial week.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna finish letting this one cook. Now, like I said, my oil got down. I do not like this burner. Oh, drives me nuts. These actually cook faster than this. I hate this burner. It heats up really fast, but then when I put the food in it, it takes forever to get it going.
I think we need a new burner.
In a
and
new
house to go
house?
around it.
A new burner with a house to go around it. Honey!
I made you smile. All right.
And in a separate shed all by itself.
Yes. Show kitchen.
So we found the perfect house. I would have made an offer on this house without even looking at it. It was nice,
What?
wasn't it? Found it, emailed the realtor right away. Sorry, there's an offer on it. I'm like, are you kidding me? No, they're taking backup offers. Okay, when can we go see it so we can put a backup offer on it? Nope, they just, in 5 days, they did the appraisal and the inspection in 5 days.
Wow.
I wanted to cry. Now, we didn't know if it had internet. Maybe it had didn't have internet, so I guess maybe that's why God didn't let us have it. But it was perfect.
So Wanda's asking, is that the roast with cream of mushroom soup? It is not, Wanda.
Well, it is.
It is? Oh,
So
oops.
here's the thing. It is. I just leave the cream of mushroom soup off because I'm gluten-free and dairy-free.
Oh.
So it
So
is.
you've always done it that way, haven't you? I don't
No.
think you ever
Well,
make
when
it
we
either.
were first married, I used to make it with cream of mushroom soup all the time. But I'm gluten-free and dairy-free, so I leave it off and I just put seasoned salt on it, okay? All right, so now get this drain. Yeah, it's just since I've been gluten-free, dairy-free. Okay, now, if you want, you could put your roast in a pan with a little bit of taco seasoning. If you're using leftover roast, cut it up. Normally, I put hamburger on here. But since hamburger is expensive,
Sugar down.
ain't nobody got time for that. So, I am going to just use roast, okay? So then, just slice up my onion here. Dicing is what we're doing on the onion. Dicing is these little pieces like that. That's a dice. You see that dice? That's dicing. Okay. Now, normally I would also put, what do you call it, lettuce on here. But the lettuce that was in my refrigerator yesterday is not there now. And I have no idea where it went. So, we're just not going to have lettuce. And then, oh, Dave, can you grab the salsa, please? I forgot the salsa. You can just put whatever seasonings, flavorings you want, top shelf. Big thing. You can put sour cream, anything like that that you want. Okay. If you want some jalapenos, you could use fresh or pickled. You can use whatever you want. But all right. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks.
And then you have your fry bread, your Navajo tacos, whatever you want to call them, depending on how politically correct you are.
Oof.
Okay. Now, here we go. Gonna cut this all up. I'm trying to get a piece with meat for Michael.
So Tara wanted to make the bread, or the fried bread, and she said, "Oh, I'm making a roast." And I said, "Why don't you make the tacos with the roast?"
Yep. Okay. What do you think about that?
I always love it. Man, that's two great tastes together.
So,
Actually, the fried bread is good in all kinds of ways. Even just by itself, it's really good.
it's just one of those things, and if my burner was working, I'd probably be through with these by now, but of course my burner's
It's volcano bread.
volcano. Oh yeah, that would be true.
So it was blowing up. Did you make the hole too small then?
Huh? No.
Oh,
It's working.
Because earlier you said when you don't make the hole big enough, it poofs up in the middle.
Did it poof up in the middle?
Well, I don't know. They were saying it was volcanoing. I wasn't.
Well, I mean, the oil comes out the hole.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah, but that's what you want it to do so it doesn't build up underneath steam and then explode from a big bubble or anything. But, yeah. Okay, so now this one will be for Dave with honey. Just a minute more.
Ooh.
Super hot though.
So we usually don't eat these with the fork, but. But the salsa is really wet. So.
It's kind of goopy for right now. So then,
Yum.
if you have leftover, just put some cinnamon and sugar on them and make them a dessert. Add some honey with some dessert. Add some cinnamon and sugar with some honey. Oh, so super good. These keep fairly well, so if you want to have them for lunch the next day, just let them cool and then put them in a Ziploc bag in the refrigerator and then just put all your toppings on. So yeah. All right, questions?
So somebody was asking if you got that roast cheaper than hamburger. How much did you say? How much you paid for it?
I don't pay more than $2.99 for roast, so that's probably what I paid for that. The package is buried in the trash can because it's been. I put it in it. Well, I put it in. So this morning I forgot to put it in again. Of course, went on our power walk. I forgot to put it on, so I didn't get it put in till 10. Well, Dave was making some biscuits. He learned today how to make buttermilk biscuits, and they were delicious. Wouldn't you say you did a good job? It looked like you did a good job.
I'm surprised no one touched them.
And
I got them all to myself.
you ate all of them yourself?
Yeah.
Of course, Mom.
Except for like
Of
two
course.
because Dad wanted one.
So what I did was, my roast was frozen. I threw it in the oven with the biscuits at 425 for about 45 minutes or an hour. Then I turned it down to 270 and it came out perfectly tender, just like you saw it. Now, gluten-free, dairy-free. Yes, you can make this with gluten-free flour. But normally what I do, just because I don't feel like making two separate things, I normally just serve my portion of Navajo tacos on a bed of lettuce and just have like a gluten-free taco salad. If I feel like it, I'll add some corn chips along the side instead, or I could put it on a tostada shell if I wanted. But that way the whole family can have it, and then I can still have my gluten-free, dairy-free. So now we're getting too hot again.
Whoa. So that's really a camping burner, I guess.
Yeah, it's not really made for actual cooking.
We got a different one time. It was one of those
Induction
ones that's magnetic, I guess, but it made this huge whining,
Yeah.
awful noise.
Yeah.
And Tara hated the noise, and people on the show were saying, "What's that crazy noise on the microphone?"
Ah, Tanya, so she's binge watching all our videos.
Awesome, yay.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what to do with we're thinking about hiring a consultant to tell us what to do. We have major issues with our YouTube channel because because we're trying to improve the videos that we do, and we found out the videos that are our top videos actually don't really have anything to do with living on a dime. And so we're like, great, what are we supposed to do now? Because our top videos that we should be making more of actually don't have anything to do with living on a dime. Oh, that was smooth. Oh, that was very delicate. Good thing you didn't do that on a first date.
Would have turned you away, huh?
Yeah. No, your good looks just captured me from the beginning, honey. You gave me that smoldering look. Let me see. Let me see the smoldering look. Let me see.
Wait, I can't do it now. Tommy, got that picture handy?
Okay, the
So, like-
smoldering look.
I don't know. I'm too laughing too much for that at the moment. Kathy says this is the best recipe for roast. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And somebody
You
else.
could do pork roast. You could do just beans. You could do hamburger, ground beef. You could do chicken. That would be perfectly fine. All of those would be very good alternatives.
And your mom said even though you're making it with beef, she said I think you can do it with pork this way too.
Yeah, you can do it with pork. Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't know we were actually I didn't put the roast recipe on the show notes. Okay.
And this is on our Dining on a Dime cookbook. 25% off right now, guys. Go grab it. This is the lowest price it's going to be. I anticipate I have about 45 days worth of books left at the current rate we're selling them. And unfortunately, the price will be going up with the next printing. We've had to redesign the book again. And
Costs more to print.
it costs more to print. So if you want it, it's not going to be cheaper than this unless some weird something happens. But we hopefully aren't anticipating. We've been selling a lot with this whole economic turn down thing because people are starting to panic because they're not able to buy groceries and they're not all that, which I was going to get on that, wasn't I? I don't know if I'm up to that today. So anyway, we are selling like hotcakes right now, and the kids packaged the last pallet of books on Friday. The last pallet of books. So we have a whole stack of boxes ready to be packed up to move.
I keep watching your arm in the pan. Like, no.
Yes,
no.
I know. Oh, my oil got too cold again. Mom is coming out in a couple of weeks. So we're hoping are you okay?
Yes.
We're hoping we find a house while she's here. And then we can all decide where our family compound is going to be.
Dave, what did you do? There's a lot of hashtags for Dave here. Hashtags love for Dave. All right. So.
I don't know. What did I do?
I don't know what you did.
So.
Okay.
Oh, you already mentioned that the thing about you can do pork this way too.
Yep.
And I just shared the recipe for the roast in the comments, but
Yep.
yes.
Lee, God has the right house lined up for you. You know what? He does, and we are just waiting on it. We know it's going to happen. We're just waiting at the moment.
Shouldn't
But-
embarrass myself again.
Here's the thing. The house that we really kind of need and want is not even close to being within our price range. I'll be perfectly frank. But something is going to happen. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's going to be a turn down in housing prices. I don't know if somebody's just going to be desperate to sell. I don't know what's going to happen, but something's going to happen so that we can afford it. But we looked at our bank account today and we're pleasantly surprised with all this extra selling of books from this whole thing going on right now. And we've got more cash that we saved up to put down. So we're getting closer.
Yay!
We're getting super excited.
Woohoo! Waiting for the right one.
Waiting for the right one. And now we've actually upped it to where we really want to have 5 acres instead of 1. Mom was talking to BJ today, and he was like, you know, with all this craziness that's going on, if Mom and Dad get land, I may have to put a tiny house on there with the garage and rent from Mom and Dad. He said, you know, we may have to have a family compound here. And it's funny because people keep saying, oh, are you downsizing because your kids are leaving? Actually, we're feeling like we need a bigger house, to be perfectly honest. Not that I lie about it anyway, but we're just having this feeling like we actually should be getting a bigger house or 2 houses on a property or something. But this one that we found on Friday that we weren't able to get, it was almost 5,000 square feet, but Mom could have had 2,000 square feet in the basement all to herself with a full kitchen. It was a full kitchen, a bright, not even a dark basement. It was a bright, tons of windows, a walkout so she'd have her own life, and we can lock the door to the stairs and don't have to let her up.
And we'd have separate space for the business and things like that.
Yeah, it was just wonderful. It was honestly more out of our price range than we wanted, but we could have done it. We're just trying to stay as debt free as possible, and we would have had to get a loan to do that. So
Number 1 chosen mama, the Julian clan, says we don't call it fry bread, we call it fry bake in the Caribbean. She says she's from Trinidad. That's pretty
fry
cool.
bake.
Wait, what did I do?
That's cool.
So I don't understand why it would be fry bake if you're frying it on the stove. How
I
are you
know.
baking it? I'd be curious. How are you baking it? Let me know how you're baking it. That
Oh,
would be interesting to know.
I made biscuits, and that's why everyone was like, left for
Oh,
Dave. And
yes, Dave made biscuits. And they
Okay.
turned out very delicious, didn't they?
Yes, they were.
He might have. He got another menu plan done for me today. Oh, guys, we have products.
That's confidential information.
It's confidential information. We have a new ebook set. We have 2 menu plans already done. Mike got everything done except the index. Tomorrow is the index for Dining on a Dime Volume 2.
Tomorrow is part 1 of the index.
Tomorrow's part 1 of the index.
I'd like to say it's the whole thing, but the index is one of the most difficult parts.
That's like the worst
But it's
part
the
of
last
the
thing
entire
that's
book.
left, and so Dining 2.
Do you think by next week we'll have it to the printer? If we
If we
find a printer?
it should be definitely done this week, and it's just we've got kind of a couple. The one printer I think kind of abandoned us, and we have 2 other printers in the works.
What you don't know is I have a third one that I'm talking to here also.
So we were thinking about diversifying a little bit.
So we thought about sending one book to one printer and another book to another printer to see which printer actually works out better, and then just going with that printer if it works out. So, yeah. All right, next question.
Sorry, I was looking away. Amanda said, my late aunt always made Indian fry bread for Christmas Eve with fresh honey on it, and then we did tacos. So good, and it's a great memory.
Yum.
That is,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do a CD with all our videos. I would buy it. She just bought 4. Oh, I shipped your cookbooks today, Kimberly. She bought 4 of my cookbooks yesterday. Thank you. You got a big old box coming to you.
Ooh, and Jenny said the cookbook easily paid for itself with 1 meal. Woo!
1 meal? That is a huge savings. Yay!
That is great.
You copy that comment. We need to keep Jenny's comment.
I did. Wait,
That's a sales.
it's Jessie. No,
Oh, Jessie.
No, it is Jenny. Sorry.
Oh, that is a sales page comment.
I was looking at the
Wow.
wrong one. Sorry. Actually, it was Jessie that said she loves her nails and that they're very patriotic.
Oh, yes. Courtney sent those to me. Thank you, Courtney. These are my Memorial Day nails.
Woohoo.
My Memorial Day
Oh,
nails.
that's this weekend, isn't it?
Yes! I couldn't believe it was this weekend already.
Are you done with that pen?
Yes.
Mike's gonna...
Okay. Oh, thank you, my love. Oh, you do love me.
Mwah. I just kept watching it thinking, no scars, no burns.
I know. I have I have this thing. I burn myself like once a week. It never fails. My latest burn. Let's see. Where was it? Oh, right here. Hit it again. It's like, ugh. Denise said, "Tell Ellie thank you so much." She said, "You're welcome."
Specifically for the chocolate, because Denise is chocolate lover.
Oh, it was the chocolate.
Amanda said, "Made your best chocolate chip cookies ever last night. Added a little bit of oatmeal, and the kids love them. And let's be real, I did too."
They're good, aren't they?
We have
Yeah.
to not make them very often because we'll eat them all.
Yeah.
Although the boys are getting pretty good at eating them before us now.
Yeah. Jenny says, "Love the cookbook I got. The original Not Just Beans was one of my first cookbooks when I started playing house. Looking forward to gluten and dairy free. Bless you guys." Ah, that's great. You got one of our original books. That's a classic. If you are ever desperate for money, you sell that sucker. It's going for like $800 on eBay. You sell it, and if you get $800 for it, I'll send you another one. Oh, have mercy. That's crazy.
Susan said, "My granddaughter was 4 yesterday. She's Norwegian."
Aw.
4 is an awesome age. And Norwegian, what a plus. I'm
Yeah.
sure Torrid must have
We
commented.
saw, and that reminds me of Jack when he was about that age. He had rolled toilet paper all over for a roller coaster. He made a roller coaster, and he did a roller. This was his roller coaster stage, and he rolled it all over the living room. And I saw a joke. I think it was one of our viewers sent it to us, and she said, "Yeah, toilet paper. My grandson rolled it all over the living room in January. That was so cute. In February or in March, it was a travesty." Or something to that effect. It was like, yeah, that's pretty true.
All right, so let's see. Oh, we already read that one. Okay. Where did you get the flour jar?
Big Lots.
Aha.
I love Big Lots for stuff like that. Annie, thank you for my Bible. I got my cookbook and love it. You're welcome. And if you guys want a Bible, we give out free Bibles. We are Christians and we want you to know more about the love of God. So just email us, editor@livingonadime.com, and we will send you a free, easy to read, English Standard Version Bible. It's easier to read than the King James Version. So
Yes.
David made green chili for dinner tonight. Yay! I hope it was
Yay.
delicious.
Julie made the coffee cake. No, a different David. Actually, yes.
Last David.
Yep. Julie fixed the coffee cake this weekend. Tara was wonderful. We had one night warmed up with a little ice cream. Yum.
Yay!
Yay.
Good. That sounds
And
good.
Rachel said, "Just made the peanut butter snacks for my kiddo. Didn't have any powdered milk, so I used vanilla caramel powdered coffee mate, and they're so good and addictive." It's awesome
there
when
you
you
go.
improvise a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll work.
And Elizabeth said, "These look amazing." She said, "I used a fry bread recipe. Used the beef I normally use for tamales on top with taco toppings."
Oh, yeah.
Oh my, amazing.
That's one thing. I love tamales. But they're such a pain in the patootie to make. I've never made them, but I should. But I love tamales.
Paige said, "Thanks to you, my freezer is stocked with meat." Yay.
Yay! So is ours, and our freezer door keeps getting left open, and I'm like, ah! So,
And Jenny said, "I was just looking at the recipe today when I was reading the cookbook. It sounded yummy." It really is. You should make it.
It is.
Somebody else said that her husband had said something about it, and that they made it, or they're going to make it today
Yeah.
after seeing it on the
So
show.
Susan asked, roast is cheaper than hamburger meat. Yes, sometimes it is. And so I will not buy hamburger. If hamburger is $4 or $5 a pound and roast is $3 or less a pound, I'll buy that. Occasionally I'll get roast for $1.50 a pound. So I'll just stock up on roast, and that's what we eat. Last Memorial Day, I did a video where I found hamburger for 99 cents a pound, so I stocked up on all they had and filled my freezer with that last Memorial Day. And we just finished that in February or March. So that lasted us a really long time.
Denise said hot roast beef sandwich sounds good. That would be good for day 2.
That's one of my favorite ones, yeah.
Or maybe day 3. Day 1 would be the roast. Day 2 would be the...
Actually,
beef
I think
tacos.
while you guys are eating that, I'm going to take a piece of my gluten-free bread and make me that. That sounds pretty good.
All right.
I think I'm going to do
Well,
that.
there you go, Denise. You've been an inspiration. Bandana Grandma said, oh, and Bandana Grandma's on, by the way.
Woo!
She said, we had your pasta fagioli for dinner tonight, and I made it on my live stream. Ooh,
Yay!
cool.
Oh, by the way, our affiliate program is broken at the moment. We are working on that. It's on the
It's on
huge
the
list of to-dos that we got to fix on the new website. So sorry about that.
Fixing the website.
We will let you
is
know
the
when we get it
first
done.
to do on the website.
Yeah, we got to fix the website before we can fix the affiliate stuff. It's like, oh, brother.
Let's
So,
see. And when you were talking about the cream of mushroom, Cindy said cream of mushroom and Lipton onion makes the best roast.
Yeah.
Have you used the Lipton onion with it?
no, but that would be really good mixed together. I was thinking about doing a roast ebook. Just a mini one. Just a mini roast ebook with all the different easy ways that you can make a roast. I don't know if people would want that or not, but just like to do a little $1 or $2 ebook. I thought that would be something really good to do because roast is one of the easiest things you can cook. It is so super easy.
Oh, and somebody earlier said that she had bought a roast at, I forgot which store, and she said she cooked it for a long time and it didn't get soft like that.
Well, how long is a long time? Because it
She's-
needs to be a long
I think
time.
she said all day, but it has to be how many hours do you think?
So if it's frozen and I put it in at 7 o'clock in the morning at 350 degrees for an hour and then I turn it down to 275 for the rest of the day, it's done at 5 or 5:30. So I don't know how long you did it, but the other secret that I do is I add a cup of water in my roast because it gives it extra moisture and keeps it from drying out more. And then I have the juice to make French dip, to make beef and noodles, to make beef stew, anything like that.
So Julie says we're eating the stacked enchiladas right now. Tara,
Oh, yeah.
your recipes are really professional. Thank
Thank
you.
you! Which is kind of ironic if you guys know me. And
What?
some of you
Because
do
of the
by now.
turkey?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, brother.
Let's see. I'm done with those questions. It seems like there was something else that I was thinking and I can't think of what. All right. I have a ratchet strap around our freezer because the door doesn't seal well. We should try that.
Ours is new. I think what happened is our freezer has slid or something and it's at an angle now. So instead of the front pointing up and back, so your freezer, if your door's here, your freezer should actually be sitting like this, not at this much of an angle, but it should be sitting at more of an angle so that the door is higher than the back feet. So then the door, gravity helps the door close more often. And I think when we moved, that's what it was. When we moved BJ's stuff out of the garage that he moved last week, something got jarred on the freezer, I'll bet, because it's been
Oh.
happening since he moved.
Well, when we put it in,
Yeah, something
I
happened.
think we were having trouble getting the legs leveled, so we put some shims under it, and I bet he knocked them out.
I bet that's what happened. So we need to get in there tonight and get it back leveled up. I got a bucket of sand sitting in front of the door right now, but yeah.
So we have some questions. Can you sprinkle those with cinnamon? Yes.
Oh, yeah. And honey.
And Pat asked, how do you put honey on? We just put it on top, or sometimes if there's a big bubble,
Yeah.
the kids love to put it in the bubble.
Like they'll break open this little bubble here and they'll fill
it
the
up.
bubble.
And it'll
This
kind
is
of ooze
not-
around inside.
This is not a light honey or a light calorie
Food.
food by any means. I did not suggest that it was. I said it was delicious. So,
Ms. T wants to know if you've ever baked your own taco salad bowls. We have not, have we?
no. Mm-mm.
Actually, Tara, if she ever eats taco salad, usually eats it without the...
I usually just eat it with corn chips because the bowls are nice, but I can't eat flour, and so we just usually just have like nacho salad is what you would say more. So, yeah.
Oh, Dave, the hashtag love for Dave is because you made biscuits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dave was like, what?
Kathleen wishes she could reach through and snag it. All right, guys, please visit us at livingonadime.com. Check out our Dining on a Dime Time Cookbook 25% off right now. I do not anticipate it ever being this cheap again. Like I said, printing prices are going up, and so the next edition we are having to raise the price. But you can still grab some now. I have, I think, 300 or so left. I'm not sure. The last pallet the kids packaged up Friday, the last pallet, it's sitting right there in the garage just waiting to ship out for me to throw some labels on and ship it out.
We're hoping to get a different house between when those sell and when the other
Yeah,
ones arrive.
we are praying that we will get a house between book shipments because we do not want to have to move 5,000 to 10,000 books.
We did have a couple of people asking, probably, we're thinking maybe September on the print, all the new books.
Yeah, so the ebooks, in about 3 to 4 weeks, the ebooks will be coming out, and I think what we've decided to do is we're going to send you an ebook with a coupon for the price of the ebook. So let's say the ebook is $24.95. I don't know how much it's going to be, but let's just say it's $24.95. If the ebook is $24.95, we will send you a coupon with that ebook for you to keep, and then when the print books come, you can buy the print book, use that coupon, and get your money back off of the print book sale. But here's the catch, guys, and I'm going to start warning you now. You're going to have a full 1 to 2 months warning. You are going to have to keep a hold of that coupon. We will not be able to resend the coupons. If you order the ebook and you want to use the coupon to get your money back, I know 2 to 3 months is a long time to hold on to a coupon, but you are going to have to do that. We cannot possibly reset any coupons. I just do not have the manpower to do that. So when we do something like this, that's going to have to be your responsibility. We won't be able to give refunds on ebooks.
But we'll make sure and mention it.
We're going to mention it. We're going to mention it in the sales page. We're going to mention it on the download page. We're going to mention it every time we talk about it. But you will have to keep that coupon somewhere where you can find it to use on the print edition, okay? But that way you guys can have, be careful, that's hot. That way you guys can have the ebook and start using it, and then when the print book gets here, we will give you your money back through a coupon, but you're going to have to keep that. So anyway, that's my disclaimer for this time. And thank you, Nancy, for praying for us. Yeah, the funny thing about the whole house thing, and then I'm going to go, the funny thing, what people don't understand is we're not just looking for a house for Mike and I for our retirement. We would like to stay there till I die, but we have just moved a ton.
We would like to stay there till you die, is that what you said?
But we are buying a house for us. We are buying a house for Mom to move into, and we're buying a house that we have to have a warehouse of some sort of housing for our books. And because we live in Colorado and because of the place we're looking, we have to have a very specific driveway to get the semi trucks when they deliver the book into the barn or shed or whatever warehouse we're going to have. So we have, it's funny, we're kind of flexible, but at the same time we have to be very particular. There are about 3 or 4 things that we just cannot give up. The first one, of course, is internet, because then we won't have business. The second one, of course, is a driveway to get the semis in there. And then we really want trees. Believe it or not, in Colorado, it's really hard finding houses with trees.
Just, they're so expensive.
And yeah, and so those are the top 3 things that we're really looking for. So, and then we want something for Mom, so preferably she'd have her own house or a really nice open basement. She doesn't want to be living in a dungeon.
Yes.
So, yeah. Lynette, if I'm eating gluten-free, what kind of noodles do you purchase? I just get the gluten-free ones at the store. They're 99 cents. They're really good. Yeah, just buy the spaghetti. That's what I use.
Yep.
So, ooh, Jenny was just given a whole beef. You go, girl.
She needs lots of roast ideas.
Wow. All right. Bonnie, I have a question. I do use an Instant Pot, and will you cook a book? Huh?
One, do you use an Instant Pot?
Oh, one, do I use an Instant Pot? No, they're from Satan. Two,
She's tried 3 different ones.
two, are you going to do a healthy cookbook? Probably not. Healthy cooking's for the birds. Sorry. No, I probably won't do one. We focus on comfort foods. I don't know. Probably not. Healthy foods, people don't want healthy foods. And this is our business, and so for me to spend a lot of time writing a cookbook that nobody would buy, just, I'm not used to having my hair on my neck, and it's driving me crazy because it's getting longer.
I was wondering.
Yeah, that's why I'm not just trying to...
You've divulged your neck problem.
I don't like things touching my neck, not even my husband. My uncle, when I was, like, little, would pick me up and tickle me with his beard on my neck just to be funny. Ever since that, I have never liked anything I hate wearing turtlenecks. I don't like collars. Even aprons are hard. And so now that my hair is longer, it's driving me crazy. But anyway, yeah, so.
And Tanya's Reviews gave a $2 super chat. Just want to thank you guys for all you do. Thank you.
Thanks. That's so nice.
And thanks so much for binge watching. Hope you're
Thanks.
finding some awesome things.
Thanks, Mrs. T. You are going to find us our house. Mrs. T, every time we talk about houses, she sends me like 5 houses all over the place. And they're all usually pretty cool. Last time let's see, what was it? An old school or gas station? She sent me both. I can't remember the last one, but she sent me a school. She sent me a gas station. Or was it a store? I don't know. Anyway, she always sends me the coolest houses. All right, and yes, our address, if you guys are needing to send us anything, checks, we do accept checks for the books. Living on a Dime, P.O. Box 193, Meade, Colorado, 80542, the price of the books, and then $6 for shipping.
All right.
So, all right, guys.
Have an awesome rest of the day.
And thanks for all your prayers, guys. We really appreciate it. We really need them. We have been very discouraged lately. So, I know we say this all the time, but if you guys knew what was actually going on that we don't talk about, you'd be like, wow. But anyway, yeah.
But we will forge on.
Yes. See, I'm not crazy. Annie doesn't like anybody touching her ears.
Yeah.
See?
She also has a sound problem. So
Yeah.
like if there's a vehicle idling 4 blocks away.
Mom does, not Annie.
So you can only imagine how dogs that are really close.
I think I'm going to go camping by myself in the mountains in a couple of weeks. I think. Yes. All right, guys. Please like, subscribe, and share. Visit us at livingonadime.com. Our cookbooks are 25% off. Our aprons, to-do list, price book, financial planners are 50% off. We are getting ready to move. We don't know when or where, but we're getting ready, and we will see you guys on Wednesday.